Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Radio Geonosis, where we talk about Star Wars from a certain point of view. I'm Angie.
Oh, I'm David. Sorry, I was watching hockey.
Oh man, what's up? What's up, guys? Wake up, D.
I know.
Okay, I put it away.
I'm
I put it away. I
gonna
put it
have to-
away.
He's watching
Facebook's
hockey.
putting clips up.
Wake
man.
up, D.
Today, we're going to be talking about favorite food and drink scenes. But before we do that, we got some hot happenings, David.
Oh yeah, we do. We actually, have.
I know we do.
Like something that's not even a.
Solo.
Like,
I know we
dumb.
do. Go. You say it.
Yeah, Han
Say it.
Solo
You-
trailer. Full
Yep.
trailer.
Yep.
I
Dude,
liked it. I liked it.
I've been waiting this whole time to see what Donald Glover's gonna sound like as Han Solo. I mean, Lando Calrissian.
Yeah.
Sounds like Donald Glover.
Some people don't. They
Like I didn't know if I was gonna
it.
expect suave voice or his voice, but yeah, I can dig it. So.
Yeah, it's okay.
Some
He's gonna
people
rock
don't
it.
like him. Some people do. But you cannot have the original Han Solo. He's too old.
No, you can't.
You have to have
Or
the
Billy D.
younger
Williams.
Yeah,
Exactly,
You have
or
to have
Billy
a
D.
younger,
Williams.
You have to have a younger version.
He's old.
They're both very. They're both.
Suave.
Yeah,
I
but
like
they're both
that.
very. You can't have. You can't. Yeah.
No, they're older. You got
No,
need
but
to
all
get
I know
over
is
it.
that episode 9, you have Billy D. Williams, Lando Calrissian in it, or I'm gonna.
Okay,
just
let's
lose
talk about Han
it.
Solo.
Okay, yeah, Han Solo.
Come
So,
back to me.
did you
David,
guys
come back
watch
to me.
it? Cause I should. I
Yes.
sent it to
Yeah,
you guys.
liked
I
it.
watched it. I watched it like at least 4 times.
I thought it was great. I liked it, but like I said, some people are like, the him and Han. Give it a chance.
Like I'm more hyped
it's
for
not even
this
out
than
yet.
I was episode 8. To be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
And I was pretty hyped for episode 8 because they built that one up. This one came out of nowhere. We all knew it was happening, but it was
But it's
just
still.
like,
It's yeah. They already like it's already. It's
like
about
they
to come out. It's gonna
they
come out
just
next
started
month.
It's like a
like
quiet
doing
man,
clips
very
18
dangerous.
months ago.
Yeah, it's already gonna come out next month. I want to say I'm more excited for this movie than episode 8, but I am excited to see this movie.
I think I honestly think it's going to do very well.
But I'm waiting to see it though. I am waiting to see it just because, of course, like just because for the mere fact it
Is
did
it
come out
'cause-
of nowhere, and I don't really know much. I know about
Is it
Han
because
Solo,
The
but I
Last
don't know.
Jedi might have been a little bit of a letdown?
But I like the Last Jedi.
Yeah, I like it
I
too.
do
I think I liked it
too.
way
Like
more
this
than a
one's
lot
gonna
of
go
people
one
did.
of two ways with everything surrounding it. Its whole production history. It's either gonna be like the best Star Wars movie ever or the worst.
The
Like,
wor-
it's
yeah,
literally
yeah,
gonna go
yeah,
one
yeah.
of two ways.
But see,
It's
yeah,
a Star Wars story,
but I'm-
not part of the movie trilogy.
Yeah, but it still doesn't matter. It's still a
Rogue
Star
One
Wars
was-
movie.
It was a Star Wars story,
Story.
and I liked it. I
Mhm.
really liked it.
I did too, and there were a lot of people who didn't. I mean, you're just gonna get that anyway, though. You're just
Yeah,
gonna get people who like it,
the
and people who don't.
naysayers,
Exactly. I'm one of them. Like I'm
Everybody wants to
I'm a little nervous about this movie,
be
but
cool
excited
and love
too.
Star Wars 77 only.
What's that?
Like I said, everybody just wants to be cool and love like original Star
Star
Wars.
Wars. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of like
Not
I'm
me.
a pots and pans kind of person. I like the different stories that are being told. I
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I like to see the different things. I mean, the books have been out for years, and they've talked about a lot of things in the different books. But I like this. You
Yeah.
know, I want to find out how, even though it's in the books, I'd like to see it on film. How they become friends. How he wins the Millennial Falcon.
Yeah.
How Chewie and him become. I want to see it.
Yeah, Chewie had a girlfriend in the trailer.
Oh yeah, no,
He
it
had
was
a
like
significance other in the trailer.
I was
Yeah,
like,
happy
So
Life
that was
Day.
pretty. There are things I'm looking forward to. It's just since the movie did come out of nowhere and it's already about to drop a week after Daredevil. Like I'm just still nervous about like, man, did they really do this movie any type of like not even justice, but
Ron
is it gonna
Howard
be
has.
good? Yeah,
I think he has.
I trust him. I trust
Yeah.
Ron Howard as a film guy. I know Ron Howard. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
But
I don't
he
know.
did.
It
I-
depends
from
on
what
how
I-
much time he got to work his magic, to be honest with you. Like,
But
if
I
he
did
had
see he did work with
unrestricted
Lucas.
access,
He
Yeah.
did have
Yeah.
Lucas help him out a bit. So we're gonna see some nostalgia. We're gonna see some of the little bit of sprinkle of Lucas
I just hope
in
it's
there.
not
But
episode
it's
7
actually
nostalgia.
what you said, what Dee just said just right now is how did he have time to work on it, or was he restricted? Was it
Yeah.
a time restriction, or
If they were
had-
just like,
and he
fix
did-
this, please, we don't care what you do,
unless they
it's gonna
really-
be great.
or unless they was like kept under wraps, like you know what I mean? Unless it really was kept under wraps, unless he really did a good job of like not anything get out.
Well, there may have been footage and things that they were able to keep.
Mm-hmm.
So then what they did was they just tinkered around with the rest of whatever they needed to fix.
Yeah.
You know, and
Sounds like they actually like refilmed the whole movie. It really does.
But you know
Really?
what? When
For all the
sometimes when
production
you have a
stuff.
project and a budget that you got to get this done in a certain timeline,
Yeah.
people are working 10-hour shifts to get
Oh
this
yeah,
done.
for sure. For
I
sure.
think
You know,
for the
so I
kind
think-
of movie it is, it's going to be super expensive because
Yeah.
all the stuff they've had to do to fix it. So it has to make the monies.
It has to.
It has to.
Therefore, it has to be good.
Well, there is some money.
Yes.
There's
It
some
has
movies
to be
they've
good.
poured out a lot of money for, and it's been really lousy. So I mean, I think
John
that,
Carter of Mars spent a lot of money, and
I was looking forward to
I like
a
that movie,
series,
but
man.
like people didn't like. But that's just an example of
Yeah.
like a movie who had a big budget and didn't do well at all.
They like did nothing.
Yeah, I was probably the only person who saw it.
maybe they in the movie theater.
I saw it like 2 times. I really enjoyed it that much, but
Oh, bless your heart, Aaron.
people did not like that movie like at all, like whatsoever.
Well, maybe because they, a lot of people didn't read the books. we're talking
True.
about 100-year-old books.
Book,
The same
yeah.
thing with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
You either like it or you don't like it.
True.
Oh, I don't
the-
know if it's true. I saw something about this year a new Lord of the Rings book is coming out and it takes place before all this stuff. But I have not confirmed that. All I did was see something about it.
Galaxy.
And I was
Yeah.
supposed to look it
About
up last night because I told another friend about it. And she was like, huh? But yeah, anyways, allegedly, there's a new Lord of the Rings book coming out.
Well, it would go along with Amazon.
Yeah,
having
that's what I was
the-
thinking about. Like, I was
yeah,
wondering if it's
they're
going to be
gonna be
tied
doing-
into that or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be.
Maybe.
I'm,
might be.
I'm,
It
so-
depends,
I'm a Legolas fan.
Because I still haven't 100% looked into it. But I've gotten, like, insinuations from both sides. Like, it's either just literally a remake of the movies in a TV show format, or it's, like, adding on to the universe.
Yeah.
I hope it's the adding on one.
I think it could be adding on to the universe. No remakes.
But no, I'm pretty
sorry.
sure they've announced which one it was, but like I've just seen like articles and stuff
I'm over the
insinuating that it's
reboots.
both.
Over the reboot time.
I'm over the reboots,
Yeah.
man.
No, I honestly, if they don't even if it was better than Peter Jackson's, they don't deserve a reboot because you could just build onto that universe.
yes,
It's so rich.
with Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Oh wait, is it?
So, David, do we have anything else?
No,
We
that was
have-
it.
Okay, because we're going on a rant and we need to move on.
No,
So we're going to be doing favorite food and drink scenes. Aaron,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you to the task, and you're gonna go first.
I'm gonna go first. Okay,
yes.
I actually, David, I'm thankful that you only have 2 because I didn't know how much you was
Oh my
gonna.
God, you guys!
Yeah,
there's only 2 worth
I'm doing
speaking
all
of.
this research, and I've got 2 items.
I did all the research. I just chose 2.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I have an honorable mention, so I have 3.
I was
now.
really happy to find out I
did,
only chose
I
2.
did like a book.
I actually have more than 2. But
Okay, Aaron, I
I'm
want to
good.
hear it.
Okay.
Oh, so like you're like, thank you, David, for making me look better, and you look bad.
Well, actually, for like finally, yeah, for one of these these episodes, yes,
I told Angie last week I was doing 2.
I
She was
look-
like, yeah, that's good. Originally, I told her I was doing 1, and she's like, no, you need 2 more than 1.
Yeah, finally one episode. I actually did way more homework than David did. Yeah. Give it up. I'm sorry, D.
Wish
Still
I
know
felt.
more than you.
Yeah,
Just
you
kidding.
do.
I need my belt.
No, you do. It's a fact. But the scenes I chose are one is Anakin and Padme eating pears, and I just find that pears on a plate. I don't know.
Well, I
But-
actually
but-
wrote that too, but
Yeah. That's one of them. Just for the fact it's pears on a plate. I don't know what all that's about. Jabba the Hutt when he ate a frog. That
Yes.
was super gross. You remember when he dipped his hand in
Yes.
the
It was still alive
bowl
too.
and
oh, I hate
and
all that
for-
green
and
slimy
for,
stuff
yeah,
that's
and for it to
coming
be
out.
like an animatronic was pretty crazy too.
Yeah.
I
That
like that Jabba the Hutt smoked a hookah. It was like cool. I was like, yeah, you'd see that.
When Yoda fed Luke a snake on when he went to go find Yoda.
Yes.
And he had
Like
a live
snake
snake
soup or
The-
something.
Yeah. The snake, and Luke was like freaking out. The snake just slithered like right past him and go back
He's
outside.
like, that's in the barbecue.
Yeah, it was mushrooms. Actually, it was mushrooms and live snakes. That's what they were
Yes.
eating. Of course, Mos Eisley Cantina. That's like the infamous scene. Like we alluded to last week, everyone raised polystarch bread
Yes.
that formed.
Yeah,
The
you
muffin. Looks like blueberry.
yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
it looks
That's
like
where
a
I want to
muffin.
be in 5 years.
Yeah,
Even if it tastes horrible. I just wanna-
and I wanted to ask you guys about this one. All right, the blue milk from A New Hope, right?
Yes.
Is that the same blue milk from that whatever that animal is in episode 8?
no,
No.
that's different.
No,
different.
okay.
It's a cow of some sort.
Okay,
That's
really,
a sea cow, and the other ones are space cows.
gotcha.
I
Gotcha.
seriously hate
Something
that
like that.
scene.
Something like that. What, in A New Hope or in episode 8?
In episode 8.
I liked it. I thought it was real grimy and Luke
I
was
loved
like,
it.
seriously hate that.
I loved it.
Just
It
drink
needed
off the
it for the
tea if
scene.
you're going to do that.
absolutely.
It needed it for the sequence. They just like shocked us by going to it immediately, like not warming us up or anything.
Yeah, they just hit us with the and he just walks away.
But the movie needs it. If you take it out, you lose a lot of that.
Yeah.
I just,
You lose a lot of what it
I
means to be
really
Luke
do
Skywalker
not
at this
like
point in
that.
time.
I
Why not?
I don't know. To me, it just looks icky.
It is. Well, it's like pretty unsanitary for sure. But the fact that Luke did it, like really shows like the times, like what he had to adapt to and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I
So-
guess you go to kind of like a caveman type of attitude when
Yeah.
when you're in the middle of the ocean, or middle of this island, and you got to just milk that sea cow.
Exactly.
That was like the quietest exchange of people coming in and out of a room
Wasn't
ever.
it? Wasn't it?
Because Aaron threatened them.
Did I really? Was I
Yes,
th-
earlier.
geez.
You better be quiet.
I could get like that sometimes. I don't know.
That's okay. I
Yeah.
love it. We love it. Do you have
But
another
yeah,
one?
actually, those are. Well,
Mine are gonna blow you away.
huh?
Mine are gonna blow you away.
What was it
Oh,
that?
wait, I
what
forgot
was it?
one.
What was it that Qui-Gon? What was it that they were drinking?
I don't know.
I
but
still
was that?
maintain alcohol.
What was that?
I think it's wine because the Viceroy, they were part of like a federation kind of controlled guys, and they controlled trade, right? They were the trade federation
Yeah.
dudes.
Uh-huh.
So I would imagine
equivalent it to like a really high
high-end wine.
ranking like U.S. ambassador going to meet with another high-ranking country
Okay.
ambassador
Right.
on
so-
like casual
Right, and
like
they-
discussion.
They
Okay.
were under the impression that these guys were ambassadors, and they didn't know that they were Jedi until the
Till they
droid
knew-
tells
yeah.
them that
Yeah.
that she has a sense
But
of
they were
that they were Jedi.
yeah, they were drinking wine. They were
I think they were
probably-
drinking
probably
wine.
like wine though, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Oh, I remember that.
yeah.
I
think,
forgot what one of mine was. It took me like 10 seconds.
Yeah, but I
was
think
it that
that's
one?
No.
Oh,
but I
okay.
think that's what it is.
Okay.
I honestly think that's
Yeah,
what it is.
I guess that's an honorable mention for me because I
Yeah.
was just curious as to what they were drinking. I didn't know what they were drinking. I don't know.
Yeah, I
But yeah,
think
those
that's
are
what
mine.
it is.
Those are mine.
David,
Oh, mine are? Okay, so like my first
since
one
I wrote
is-
a book, I'm gonna go last.
My first one was what was it? Oh, it's from
What is
Clone
it?
Wars when Jar Jar Binks has a dinner and they have to distract the Trade Federation dudes from watching them launch aid ships to go aid a planet because of some law.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like Jar Jar's like essentially like taking everybody's plates and stuff and cups and like making stuff out of them and like putting on his show on the table. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Like it's
it's
actually
not
like
eating
you
it.
go Jar Jar, it's like
Well, he's not dropping everything, so he's not a bumbling kind of
no, he's like
goofball.
it's like
He-
it's like kind of like Charlie Chaplin. Like you fear he's constantly gonna like lose it and break everything. Gets really loose, but then it ends up not being up. He's like really like
But-
he's proficient at it.
But like you said last week, he's a little bit more. He's different in the Clone Wars, whereas in the movies he's not as not
He's not as fleshed
clumsy.
out or,
Yeah.
like-
yeah, they kind of tamed
They,
him
they
down.
didn't get a chance in the movies. Just like just keep it at that.
Yeah, I don't know about
But yes,
that.
that was the first. I just really like it. It's really funny, and nobody else would have picked it. So,
Yeah.
but I have two more.
Go
My
ahead.
second one is it's kind of a whammy here because like it doesn't really count, but it
Whammy,
counts.
whammy.
Whammy.
It's from Robot Chicken.
Sham wow.
No, yeah, the second one's from Robot Chicken, and it's just a mockery of the Padme Anakin scene where they're feeding each other, and she's just like dissing him the whole time, like shoving the food that he's force floating out of his face. So like, I just love it 'cause it's making fun of Anakin the whole time. Then my third one was. It's like, kind of like my honorable mention is episode 5. Like Darth Vader has dinner with.
Oh,
Oh,
with
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah,
And I would
yeah.
They don't have a
asterisk-
chance to eat because people are getting.
But there was a setup though. It was like a
Yes.
nice setup.
yes, and the
Yeah.
and Cloud City, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
like to throw off that one, there's a Robot Chicken sketch of that one too.
Oh my gosh.
And like it's really awkward. And, like I think it was Han Solo and Boba Fett were like doing different ways to like flip each other off at the dinner table.
Yeah.
And, like Lando Calrissian's like, "Hey, who has 2 thumbs and betrayed his best friend? This guy." So like those are it because I like the funny stuff. I know
Yeah.
they're not technically Star Wars, but
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
okay.
heavily
it kinda is,
inspired
yeah.
Yeah,
It
heavily,
is,
heavily,
yeah.
heavily.
Now, a fun fact about Cloud City is when they're getting attacked, right? And then Luke has come in and he's shooting up everything. Leia's shooting up everything. Everyone's running through the city after Landau tells them they have to leave. This guy runs through, and I didn't know this before. This guy runs through on a scene, and he's carrying what looks like an ice cream maker.
Oh, what? Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
you have to watch that. He's
I
carrying
think that's
like
the
a...
scene where there's also a person that is different from others looting instead of running away.
But he's carrying an ice cream maker. And when I went to Celebration in 2015, 16, they have...
Did someone cosplay that, run around?
No, it was...
I would love to do
it
that,
was
run around
last
the
year.
ice cream machine,
It
pretend
was
I'm escaping Cloud
2016.
City.
There was a bunch of people dressed in orange outfits, and they had ice cream makers with them, and they were running through the convention screaming,
What?
ice cream, ice cream. I'm like, what is that all about? How dumb am I that I did?
I'd love to do this
So
like
my friend
guys
Crystal
loot,
told
like,
me about
Cloud
that.
City.
I had no idea. So there's
Like, nobody would get it, that
there's a
cosplay.
Yeah, nobody
fun
would.
oh, they'd get it.
But when you explain it to them, they'd be like, "Oh, that's super dumb, but I love it." That's what that cosplay is. I'm telling you.
So
the
that was
truth.
a fun fact. But for me, I picked food scenes. I pick a lot of different things about Star Wars because I'm a
You
Pots
picked
and-
all the ones with Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Of course I did. But they're, I like the pots and pans of Star Wars. I don't know why. A lot of people talk about, let's talk about the certain scenes of shooting, or let's talk about what happened in this situation. That I like kind of the pots and pans of Star Wars, all the different underworkings of it. Like food. I mean, who would be talking about food scenes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like we said, we talked about blue milk I think it's probably the most famous. And blue milk, I found out, is Bantha milk.
Bantha milk.
Bantha milk. The Banthas were considered like space cows. And so they were on Tatooine. And so they would milk those, not the sea cow that got milked in
cow.
The Last Jedi.
Except it's way too anthropomorphic.
I don't know.
It's kind of dirty. Now that I think
is.
about it.
I just didn't like it. I mean, the milk looked dirty, and it just the milk didn't look blue. It looked dirty.
It just
It looked green.
It's what he needed to survive.
I know, right? That's what
I
makes
don't
it
know,
so cool.
man.
That's what makes it so dope.
Like I said, they could have he's just into it a little bit more, but
But the fact that I like that how they just hit us with it. Like it shows
It
like
was very
he's only,
gritty.
bam, I'm milking.
Yeah,
something.
yeah. I'm
I'm
with
milking
the-
He wasn't
something
even
I could have a
milk- and the
conversation
thing is
with.
groaning.
And it was he's and it's like on his beard. I thought it was
But
cool.
the cow was groaning like, gosh, take it easy,
that
man.
that because Luke Skywalker's always been like a badass, of course, but that was like a really a badass. moment.
Yeah. He
like
would
that was a
kinda-
really
he
really
almost like
badass
squeezed
moment.
the poor little thing, and it was like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, dude, man, take it easy. It's
Yeah,
just-
now that I think about it, that's probably the weirdest thing in that scene. It's like you're milking something you could have a conversation with.
Yeah, I'm like
It's way too anthropomorphic.
Yeah, it's telling you, please. And like we said, the pear scene. Now, I can see cutting the pear with a knife. Yeah, that's all right. But eating it with a fork, now that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because remember, she caught it with a fork.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That CGI was so terrible too. Go watch it.
Gosh darn it.
Like they didn't even stunt pair it in after she had caught it on the fork.
It was still
like
CG on the fork. Yeah.
she's like eating thin air. It's so terrible.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I just have an eye for those things.
Quit knocking
They
that
like to
movie.
ruin my immersion.
Okay, and then we were talking about Yoda eating the mushrooms and snakes.
Yeah.
That's like a paleo diet. Did you know that? That's
No.
pretty paleo. And that could be the reason why he lives to be 900 years old.
By
Because he's
eating
on that.
snakes and mushrooms.
Because he's on that.
He wasn't eating those at the
paleo
Jedi
diet.
Temple, and you know it.
Oh my.
That was gonna be such an issue with the cafeteria at the Jedi Temple. Hey, Yoda eats live snakes, so we have to keep him here. He'll prepare them. I think that's just desperation. I think it's like that's what he has to do. He has to hide here because nobody can find him here. But
snakes,
sustenance here is snakes and
Yeah.
swamp monsters.
Well, I mean, but like I said, it's a paleo diet. So, that's why he's living 900 years.
I didn't like the fish though from Episode 8. The prop that he's carrying back.
Yeah, that big.
It was a little too
fake or what?
a little too fake looking. And not because of the material usage, but because of just how it looked.
How it looked? Okay. Yeah.
Well,
'Cause
Chewie
we're-
didn't eat the pork. I mean, they had
He
him.
should have.
Yeah, I don't
It
know. A
looked
lot of
actually
people
pretty
love
good.
the
I honestly would have
barbecue
hated
pork.
that movie if I kind of hate it because they killed the pork, but if they had shown it getting eaten by Chewbacca.
I always thought he was
Really?
a vegetarian. Honestly, I thought he was a
Oh no, he
vegetarian.
is canines. I knew he
Well-
ate meat, but once again, those birds you can almost have a conversation with. That's a little too.
No,
There are some animals
intelligent
that,
to
that
eat.
look dangerous, but they're
I really wish he
vegetarians.
shrugged his shoulders and just ate the
ate the pork.
ate the pork, and then the pork's like Then they would freak out and be like Then he tells them like
That
"Go
one
ahead."
almost cried. It was like it was his mom he killed or something.
Yeah,
There was a lot of bad food
I wanted
scenes.
Chewbacca. I wanted Chewbacca to eat the pork, man. I'm sorry. I did. Yeah, they're cute and cuddly, but Chewbacca needs to eat too.
Oh man.
You
Okay.
know?
Okay, I did like Ray's muffin scene. It looks like a blueberry muffin, and I do love the fact that she cooked it in her AT-AT. AT-AT or AT-AT.
Now that you mention it,
Yeah.
I do like
because we're talking
that.
about that stuff
But
being
it
real.
looked like she ate like possibly leaves or green vegetables or something with it. Yeah, I couldn't figure out
like
what
a
that
vitamin D thing. She was bites on.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so Obi-Wan, let's get to my love. Obi-Wan drinks what looks like a blue booze in the bar before he and Anakin take down the bounty hunter. What does he tell Anakin? Go look for the bounty hunter. I'm going to the bar for a drink.
Yeah, I need a
And
drink.
you know, every time he ends up in a bar, what happens? Hands get cut off.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just too much. He does drink what's called, when I'm watching, I watched Phantom Menace. He goes to Dex's place and he drinks.
No, it's Attack of the Clones, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, because
Attack
Phantom
of the
Menace,
Clones,
he's a
you're
little
right.
kid.
Attack of the Clones. You're right. Sorry.
looks like Jesus
Wrong
in
movie.
that one.
Oh.
No, Attack of the Clones.
Sexy. Okay, he goes to Dex's place and he drinks Jawa juice. Do you think that they killed Jawas to make juice? Or
That's
is it
too
just...
hardcore for Star Wars. I like to think that's how it's made. but
Where's that juice from then?
It's like jungle juice. It's just like
Oh,
people
okay.
making up names or something. You know, like it's not from the jungle. It's just a bunch of alcohol put in a container.
Java
you know?
juice.
Yes, she's like, you want a cup of Jawa
But I'm
juice?
pretty sure it's not alcoholic.
Yeah.
How about in the Clone War cartoons? Hondo slips Anakin and Obi-Wan a Mickey in the Clone Wars, and they drink a
that the
bright
Star Wars
green
equivalent of a
ale and wake up in the cell with Count Dooku.
That is the Star Wars
Yeah.
version of a roofie.
Yes, that's what I said.
remember
they slip
that.
him a Mickey.
Yeah.
I didn't know they named it though. I didn't know they were
Yeah.
going that
Yes.
far.
I don't
into
think
it.
they named it. I'm just saying they slipped him a Mickey.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
Angie
what
called
a
it.
night!
Angie
What a
called it
night!
Mickey.
You wake up in the cell with Count Dooku.
Compared to
Ash-
usually what happens in these scenarios, I'd say they got off easy. So
But you know, there's a lot of food and drink scenes in the Clone Wars that more so than in the movies.
no, yeah, they
So
have
maybe
time
it's
to
just
show it.
yeah, maybe it's just easier to do that. Food capsules.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was asking about food capsules because my husband reads a lot of different Star Wars books, and so he's given me the rundown. The man hates the movies, but he's read like over 60 books and
Really?
can tell me all his yes.
That book,
Shame.
his book knowledge is.
Yes, he has a
Yeah.
lot of book knowledge. But
Yeah.
so I'm like, what the food caplets? Because I have to carry those too. Just what's inside, you ask? The chrome ones, they have energy pellets. Brown has food pellets.
Sounds
Silver
like a gerbil
has
food.
energy.
Here's some
Yeah, they
energy
look like
pellets.
little pellets. And then the gold has pellets.
I
Jorgen
wouldn't want to
fruit-
eat them because they're called pellets. Because I feed pellets to animals.
Well, that's what the well, it's almost like a survival kind of thing because
Feed
it's
pellets to
obvious that they're.
Oh yeah,
eating
I
at
could
the
see it's like
temple.
MRE-esque, but I don't like the pellets.
But they're eating it. We're talking about space
Tab- they
here.
just like- it's
We're
just
not
called, like,
talking
food
about the
tabs
Earth.
or
We're
energy
talking about the
tabs.
Star Wars galaxy.
I know. Because all I know is that the Jedi Order
how
gives me something
about-
called food pellets. I don't think I'm eating it.
Okay, how about in the Imperial starships? They eat something called Jorgen fruit.
Mm,
Oh yeah, that was like in Rebels.
delicious.
Yeah, Jorgen fruit.
That was like Hera's favorite fruit too, I believe, or
Was
something
it?
like that. I know she requires them to get some in one episode.
Mm.
Yeah, Dex's place, they serve apple slug stew, Hungry Hut breakfast. It's got a sandwich with Gorg egg,
Ooh.
Patty Frog sandwiches, gerbil cheese.
I think I'm gonna go with
You
the
lost
patty
me
frog
at the-
sandwich with
you
gerbil
lost me at the
cheese.
frog and cheese part, gerbil cheese.
Waiter, I'll take one of those, please. Thank you very much.
Now I'm thinking
And a
about
side
how they
of
would make gerbil cheese.
sea
Oh my
cow
God.
milk to go with it to wash it down. Thank you.
The sea cow milk. As he ingests some right now.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
And then A nutritional type of
Yum.
milk was consumed by officers on ships. Eating regular food was considered weak. Did you know that? I read that. It's considered weak. If you're an imperial officer, you don't got time. Aaron's going to fall asleep. He didn't get home till 5
Oh no, I'm
o'clock
fine.
in the
I'm
morning.
fine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had this is a crucial yawn session. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I
I'm
didn't
just
see
putting
that.
that in. I'm waking everybody up. Because apparently my story is getting boring.
No, not at all. No, don't say that. Don't say that. That's not it.
But
I was
cons-
enjoying it. You broke it up. Now it's
Okay, so considering a nutritious type of milk. Now, in Ahsoka's book, they talk about how they plant the stormtroopers and imperial officers. They come in, they have their people come and plant stuff on different planets. And once the plant has matured, they harvest it and they leave the planet because apparently whatever it is, it kills everything else. And so
Yeah.
there's nothing left on the planet. The ground's no longer fertile once they harvest whatever it is that they get.
What they get.
Stormtroopers consume gray gooish substance. It was horribly bland, but it met the nutritional regulations.
Of course it did.
They could carry them in
A
canisters in their utility belts.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like Batman in that utility belt.
a gray gooish substance.
Yeah, gray gooish substance.
Just
Okay,
porridge.
here's my question. According to
Not for me.
David, Ewoks ate stormtroopers.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Well, Wampas actually ate.
I wish they actually showed it though, because I would have been so hardcore.
Wampas.
Ewok feeding on an arm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's according to David. I don't know if that's true. Wampas ate tauntauns.
It's heavily implied that they eat stormtroopers. Heavily.
Now that's a scene in Empire Strikes Back that I really don't like.
The Wampa?
Is when the Wampa eats the tauntaun. I have a really hard time with that. And then when the Wampa dies out in the cold.
You want to hear a funny quick
Because
Wampa
he's making
anecdote?
a sad noise, and I don't like that. No,
No, it's good. You want to hear it? It's really quick. It's
go
awesome.
ahead.
High school, when I was in Alaska, when winter started, I declared it was Wampa season, and I went to the school and I used the copy machine to make 1,000 copies of this Wampa alert flyer I made.
Oh my gosh,
And I
you're a
posted them
troublemaker.
all over the Air Force Base I lived on. It was awesome.
Nobody went to school?
No, well, people are like, "What? Wampas are from Star Wars."
Oh, okay. I was wondering.
I was just doing it for fun.
Oh, okay, I wondered if you
It's Wampas.
Scaring everybody. The Rancor ate anything thrown down at them.
Uh-huh.
The Rancor, because he did eat the Twi'lek.
I know, you gotta be
Yeah.
hardcore too to be
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna drop you down to something that's gonna kill you. I'm gonna drop you down to something that's gonna eat you.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's hard. Well, he was a gangster, so I mean,
Yeah.
that's hardcore.
Yes, and then Leia gives what looks like a rice cake to one of the Ewoks. Remember
Oh
she
yeah,
said,
feeds like a cracker or something.
yeah, it looks like a rice cake. In the book Wild Space, they had food rations, and what they did was they broke it. It had like a seal, and they broke it, and it warmed up the food that was inside the ration.
Oh,
So it's almost like military,
Yeah.
It was almost like a military thing.
MREs are so good. Everybody says
Yeah.
they're disgusting. I love
What,
MREs. The meal ready to eats that the military gets. I used to get them all the time.
Oh, okay.
I love them. Everybody else hates them. Everybody says they're disgusting. I love them. I don't know why.
Now, something interesting in some of the books, some of the people. Now, this is not considered canon anymore, but in the EU, expanded universe,
Yeah.
the books that are still there, some of the people that have written the books come from a military background, and so that's why when they're talking about food and all that, they tend to talk almost like it's a military rations kind of thing.
Yeah.
Even for the Jedi. But I do notice that Obi-Wan's doing a lot of drinking.
Yeah. He's a drinker.
He's a drinker
He
because
likes
they
to keep
drink.
his buzz on in those combat
Yes,
situations.
exactly.
He
Well,
does.
I mean,
Yeah, he
Take
does.
the edge off.
after he's in the desert, what more is there? There's nothing left.
I'd
He's
like
out
to
in
see
that-
an adult Obi-Wan comic where he's an alcoholic on Tatooine.
No,
That'd be awesome.
Don't taint him.
He's not an alcoholic.
That'd be an awesome
He can
comic
become-
story.
No,
Right,
you know what?
know?
He doesn't have. He can't do that.
That'd be on the tier levels of Logan.
What
Like a good character
Oh
story.
yeah, but he can't. He just can't. He's got to watch. He
I'll
had to
make
watch
that Star
Luke.
Wars movie or TV show.
I know you
I'll
would.
give you alcoholic.
I know you
Obi-Wan.
would.
I know you would. So
I would.
Yeah, without
It'd
a
win
doubt.
awards.
Without a doubt.
I wish I had more food scenes. I actually don't. I wish I had more. I usually have quite a bit to talk about.
Yours were all messed up. Like one of my food scenes is where the Rancor eats a person.
What do you mean? Mine was messed up?
The Rancor.
Like, you didn't have
eating a
like
person.
normal ones. You had like the Rancors and the cannibalism. Not cannibalism,
Well,
but the Ewok
according
people.
to you, the
Still mentioned it. I
Ewoks
didn't bring it up.
ate-
Well,
yeah,
well,
you did.
I had a
What would you
list.
what would you like to eat in the Star Wars universe if you can? What would you like to
Nothing
try?
looks appetizing.
You know what? If I could, it would be when they were at Maz Kanaz's place.
Yeah.
All of the stuff that was there, it looked really good because it looked like Ray was eating something. It was almost like
Yeah.
a little cake with icing
Yeah.
and
I know
stuff
what it
on
would be.
it.
I don't remember the name of it
pear?
though. But no, in the Legacy of the Force book series, it was mentioned a bunch of times. I don't remember the animal. I know it wasn't a bantha though, but it was like essentially a steak.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Legacy of the Jedi, or Legacy of the Force, and whatever the two 9-book trilogies. It's mentioned in both of those. Like, I forget what the name of it was though. The animal, but it sounded so delicious because like a steak, it was like cow steak.
It sounded so delicious.
Sounded delicious, and you can't remember the name.
Yeah.
But what about when?
But it wasn't bantha. I know that. Maybe we can find it.
In Phantom Menace, we got Jar Jar Binks he's like and he grabs at something. It's something hanging. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one of those like frog creatures with
Yes.
arms
One
and
of those
legs.
things.
Once
Yeah.
again, something way too human to eat.
How is it way too human? It's a
they
little.
ate
It has
animal.
arms and legs and a head, and not like puppy dog arms and legs and a head. Like it's the shape of a human with like fins and stuff on it.
Well, they had a lot of like little teeny,
Like imagine
rodent-y
like
kind of
if
animals.
yeah,
fairies
stuff.
existed, it'd be like eating a fairy.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine if you had to.
It wasn't. Oh, Nerf steak. That's what they were. Nerfs.
Nerf
Nerf
steak.
steak.
Ah.
There's-
Because remember,
But yeah,
Han
there's
Solo
bantha
was a Nerf
steaks
herder.
and Commercan steaks too.
Yeah, because Han Solo was a. What,
Ooh,
was
here's
he
a
Nerf?
recipe for Moss Eisley dry rub barbecue bantha steaks.
That sounds good.
But
That
that
sounds good. I love dry
bantha,
rub.
bantha. Well, you don't want to do that
Why not?
because they look. I mean, they look like little. They look like elephants and stuff.
Well, it's
You
like a
don't
real
wanna
people recipe. It's just like a Star Wars themed recipe.
do- Oh, okay, okay.
But I would try it. I would eat a bantha. I would eat a pork and a bantha. There's
Oh
no
my
doubt. There's no
gosh.
question, no doubt about it. I
Oh,
wouldn't
it's
feel
boring.
bad.
I
Not
thought it was
even.
gonna sound awesome.
I
It's just
wouldn't-
Chicago dry rub.
Oh, that's all it is.
Like they
Yeah,
just
but we're
wanted to
talking
put a
about-
Star Wars name on something.
But I would actually eat if I was in Star Wars universe at a restaurant, I would try that. And I wouldn't feel bad for eating the pork. I wouldn't feel bad at all. Not one bit.
Aw,
Is that
pork
bad?
and beans right
Really?
there.
That's bad, man. I'm
Pork and
sorry.
beans sound
Pork and
good
beans.
right now. It really does sound really good right now. Is that bad that I would eat that thing?
I don't
It's
know,
too
pork
adorable.
pie.
Oh,
I-
forget that. It's too adorable. No.
fried pork.
I mean, maybe
leg.
actually if it
Yes,
was served
exactly.
to me, that's different. Because like I'm the same way. Like when I used to go hunting all the time, I wouldn't kill and eat rabbit, but I'll eat rabbit if someone prepared it for me.
I've never had rabbit.
Yikes! I don't like it either.
But
Never had it.
I won't kill bunnies because I love bunnies. But if one's already killed that I didn't do,
You
then
know
someone
what? As
feeds it to
long
me,
as
I'm cool.
I don't eat a lot of meat, but I mean, if it's in the package, then I don't know Mabel the cow. You know,
Yeah.
I'm okay. But if I know Mabel the cow, I won't eat it. If someone's like, all right,
Oh,
we're
I
gonna-
have no
we're
issue
gonna butcher
unless
that.
it's like something I
we're gonna
raised,
butcher that cow, and I'm
like
no,
from birth,
no.
or taken care of for an extended period of time. You get shown like once again hunting. I don't care how long I've been following that.
like my
moose.
goats.
Mabel the moose
I
is gonna
wouldn't do
taste
that.
good.
I have 3 goats. There's just no way.
And I would absolutely, if you were to like ever decide to cook your goats, I would eat them.
No, you can't. Once they get
would
older,
have-
No, I wouldn't. They're adorable.
yeah, but once they get
I
older,
would,
the
D.
meat's
I
not
would.
good anymore. You have to eat them when they're little,
Although,
like
like
little
lamb
Oh,
babies.
so they're
chops
not
and
little
lamb
goats
ribs, so
anymore.
No,
good, yeah.
they're monsters.
Okay, never mind. Never mind then.
They're
Man, goats are assholes.
they're like the wampas in the backyard. They make a lot of trouble.
I was gonna say I would absolutely like
Dude, when I lived in Idaho,
destroy a
like
goat.
in the suburbs
is
of
very
Idaho,
good.
people would have
Very
like
good.
peacocks and llamas as pets.
Really?
They're just like pet them and stuff.
Yeah,
Llamas are assholes though. Like really,
I
they're
am
not
gonna-
nice.
I
That's an
told no
ugly
bad
animal.
words. And what is he doing? Bad words.
That's just one. I'm sorry. That wasn't the worst bad word I could have said though. So I'm thinking I'm good. But no, yeah, there was like peacocks and llamas, like just in people's backyards.
Llamas look like they're.
You know, I didn't realize that this Star Wars
Llamas
fun food
spit.
fact was going to become.
You know what the llama
Odd
Star Wars
thing.
version
Well,
of a
'cause the thing
llama
is,
would
in
be?
Star Wars, it's odd things that they do. Eat
That's
and
true.
drink.
That's true.
They do eat.
Dude, a
aliens
Star
in a
Wars.
sense.
Yeah, because I drank from a sea cow, so I'm like, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take an Earth llama, you put it in Star Wars, but it has venomous spit. Could you imagine if like our llamas had venomous spit?
Yeah,
Oh, that'd be crazy.
yeah.
Like people wouldn't be dying in mass, but you know, there would be a legit thing of people being
Yeah.
like
I'm
killed
all-
from llama venom.
Now going into another universe, Harry Potter, in the very first Harry Potter.
Oh yeah.
I hate those scenes because they make me so hungry. All the food they prepare and
Yes,
all that.
there's nothing on the table. Then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, he
Oh, right.
said,
And
what
And it's
is
like
he-
the
what does he
greatest thing
say?
ever.
What does he say?
Oh, I don't remember.
Something about let the
Old,
feast
like,
begin,
magic stuff.
and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden there's all this food on the table. I was like, yeah,
That crucial spread.
yes,
That crucial
It was
spread.
very-
on
I mean,
boards.
very magical.
To be honest, so at the rate of endangerment, he put those kids in. They kind of had to have like the best food available because there is a legitimate thing that a lot of these kids may not make it at the end of the
Yeah,
series.
for sure. And a lot of them do.
I guess they have to power
Could you-
up for the battle.
I'm going to school to become a teacher. Could you imagine if like I had even an eighth of the record Dumbledore had for endangerment? Are you kidding? I'd be in
Man,
prison
you'd be
for the
in
rest of my
trouble,
life.
man. You'd be in trouble. Now,
Just because these kids have wands, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. There's my Harry Potter rant.
yeah, but
It's nerds, it
I did
counts.
like that. I did like that. Let's see. Back at Dex's place.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think of what else.
I love it because it's a 50s diner.
Yeah, I do too. It's kind of like, if you stop and think about it, it's a little Back to the Future.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
I have
it's
a hard.
little Back to the Future. I mean, if it would have been great if it was.
But
in
Michael
the
Jackson's
80s.
not giving you Pepsi on the screen.
No.
But if it had been like an 80s, if you had seen Michael Jackson in that scene, I think it would have been perfect.
Oh yeah, big time.
Because it kind of hinted a little bit about Back to the Future.
Yeah.
But I
I
did
want to
like.
see a Star Wars movie that has Michael Jackson in it now. Could you imagine him
You
playing like a
can't-
Jedi or something?
know.
No, I don't know.
I could've seen
I'm pretty
Playing
sure he
Jedi.
might have gotten offered one back in the day.
Maybe.
Yeah, and
Maybe.
he wisely turned it down. Wisely turned it down.
Yeah.
Thank God.
But when they walk into the bar and they're trying to get that bounty hunter, you know, there's a lot of people, you know, hanging out in the bar and stuff. I
Yeah.
always look at the TVs where they have all the.
That was
little
my favorite thing. They showed pod races on one of the TVs.
Yeah, and then they
I was
showed
like,
some
that was so good world
some
building.
form of football.
Yeah,
It looked like some form
Like
of
soccer or
football.
football. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some sort of game.
It was like red robots and blue robots on a green field.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
Going back
yeah,
and
yeah,
forth.
going back
I
and
thought
forth,
that was
yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
I look at all the what's going on in the background.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I want to see, you know, what the different sports things are. I thought that was kind of.
I love that because it was just perfect world building. Because every
Yeah.
other time we've seen a bar in Star Wars, there's nothing else. It's like there's maybe a band.
Yeah.
But now
Yeah.
they showed us like huge world building. Like, oh yeah, pod races. That wasn't just a thing on Tatooine. It's you know,
It's actually
And
it's a
Obi-Wan
sport, you
drank
know.
like a blue
Yeah.
alcohol. I mean, and like, what was it called? Kurako? Kurako?
Oh, like blue Caraco or something
Yeah,
like
it looked
that.
like that. It really looked like that. So.
It looked like that, like just with, under like UV light.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a drinker, like heavy.
Yeah, he was.
Because that job's stressful.
I'm telling you, man, my series where Obi-Wan was an alcoholic, or at least a recovering alcoholic.
Yeah.
No,
I seriously
Why
want to
not?
write that
Oh,
just to write it now.
I know
So that
he
gotta be
liked
You
the
should
ladies
know
and
if
he
you're-
liked alcohol, but I can look past that.
And you let him get
It's
away
character
with it.
building because you see him go
You
through
didn't put
in
him
a
in check,
struggle that's
Angie.
not
You should-
white guys with like lightsabers. It's like
You should've
it's
put him in
actual and
check.
emotional thing in Star Wars. I want them to do something like that now in Star Wars. Like I want an emotional storyline, not so much a we have lightsabers that are different colors,
Yeah.
therefore
I'm
you are a
sorry
bad guy.
when Obi-Wan thinks he kills Anakin was a very emotional scene. I
Yeah.
cry every time I watch that. So please, that isn't a very emotional scene.
I don't know.
He said, I don't know. Why not?
I mean, I get it, but we all knew it was happening.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah.
How did you know it was going to happen that way? You didn't know.
because Darth Vader's alive in 4,
Well,
5,
I
and
mean,
6, and I've seen those movies.
I know he's alive, but I mean, what I'm saying is the way he thought he killed him. You know, his friend's all cut up and he's burning and
I honestly don't think he thought he killed him. I honestly think that he said, "There's a really good chance he's going to die, but there's also a really good chance he's going to live, and I'm going to walk
Yeah.
how?
away."
Because nobody was there. He didn't see Palpatine show up. And does
You cut the
Palpatine
arms and a
eat,
leg
by the
and burn
way?
up the most powerful force being on the planet. I'm pretty sure I'm not pretty sure. I'm pretty damn positive that not only the reason he stayed alive, but the reason that Obi-Wan could have assumed he stayed alive is because he was so powerful in the Force.
Now,
Yeah.
what do you think that Palpy ate? Because you never see him eating. You don't see
like
him.
salads, like
Souls.
rich people stuff. Souls.
Soul soup. Soul salad, a soul sandwich.
Like, I don't think Palpatine would be that evil guy who's eating pork or Ewok, but he's definitely eating high-class stuff.
Souls.
Yeah, just souls. Can I get a number 3 with extra soul? Please. Yeah, that's what I think he ate.
Well, you just said
And a
I want
cup of
extra
blood
3
or
with
what?
extra.
Please.
Well, you just said I want a number 3 with extra soul. I was just like, I want a number 3 with James. Like, I didn't get.
Oh, yeah.
I got
No, he's
soul. I
talking
didn't
about-
get souls.
He's
Yeah.
talking about people's souls.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. You don't see
I'm gonna light
him.
up my James Brown greatest hits
You don't.
tonight.
You don't see him eating anything though. You don't.
Exactly.
So I'm wondering if he,
Just
know,
breathes it in.
Yeah, breathes in the
Just
soul.
breathes in a soul and just burps after. Excuse me.
But look at his face.
Oh, there's another food scene in Star Wars we didn't mention.
What?
In episode 2, when they're showing off the clone troopers, there's a cafeteria full of clones eating. But if I remember correctly, there was
Oh,
nothing
that's
on their
right.
plates,
Yeah.
but they were acting like they were eating. It
Well,
was really
there was
awkward.
some.
were
It
probably
looked like
eating.
little beans. It looked like maybe green beans and something.
Well, no,
And
yeah, they're all
he
wearing
was
those like
getting-
red uniforms.
Yeah, he
red
was
cloth
getting ready to
uniforms.
cut
Yeah.
the little bean.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a great cosplay. I want to make that just that red like uniform they're wearing, in the like as their casual.
Yeah, I
wear.
forgot about the
Oh.
cafeteria scene, but it looked like it was just like a couple of green beans, and they were
Yeah.
gonna cut the green beans. I'm like,
Mm.
yeah, that. I don't know.
Diet of a
cup of soul.
Yeah.
might have been-
I don't know, I was just more worried about like walking into a room, like being a clone trooper with armor on is one thing because you're naturally uniformed. Everybody
Yeah.
looks the same. But I would lose my mind if I was cloned that many times and I walked into a room and we're not wearing uniform.
But
and
they
it's
were
just
cloning-
the me everywhere. Can you imagine how like weird that would be?
Yeah,
That'd be such
the
an
me
experience.
everywhere.
Yeah, the me everywhere.
Like you,
And the
like you
me
imagine
thinking
it'd
the
be
same.
normal, but
Yeah.
it would like blow your mind. Like you wouldn't be able to comprehend it.
Well,
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
Kenomi, Kaminoans,
Kaminoans?
the Caminoans.
They were
I think
totally,
Kaminoans is how
yeah,
it's pronounced too.
they were all the same. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? They were from another being. So seeing those dudes all the
They
same.
probably didn't do
it
anything.
even
I
bother.
loved that because it was so like, what's designing an alien that has been like, created by history that we know already. It's because it looks so normal. 'Cause it's like that's how we perceive aliens.
Yeah, I think in the
Normally,
in the
yeah.
Ahsoka
Except
book,
that one dude had a mohawk. The one Kaminoan.
Yeah. In I think it's in Ahsoka, the book Ahsoka. There's a Kaminoan.
Yeah, I think so.
She
I remember.
is she's force sensitive. It's either that or in Clone Wars. I can't remember exactly.
No, I think it was the Ahsoka book.
It is. Yeah, and
I know it
she's-
wasn't in
she's pretty
Clone Wars.
old,
I know it
yeah.
wasn't in Clone Wars.
Okay, so I think it's in that book. But it's odd that it's not normal for them to be like that. So
Yeah.
she was pretty special.
Yeah, I've always wanted to learn more about their society. I want Amazon or Netflix to do a Camino show.
No,
No, they're not gonna-
them babies
watch it.
are
Or
those
at least
babies
or
are
at least a show
cloners.
that really explore it.
Yeah, May 4th.
Or maybe it's like a
May
plot
4th,
line.
the show's coming out too on May 4th.
What
The
show?
Star Wars show. The Star Wars show. The Fury of Maw.
I think that's a
What?
fan based.
That's fake. Is
I
it
think
fake?
it's a fan based.
Oh, is
I
it?
was about to say I
Yeah.
haven't heard anything.
I think it's fan based.
It might be fan based. I just saw. I saw like a
So I think
little
it's
trailer.
because it looks like my friend Sal's in
Facebook.
that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think it's a fan based one. I've seen one like that. Yeah.
Could you
Oh.
imagine that though, like a show, like an underground,
They're like,
underworld Star Wars
"Surprise!"
show,
That actually.
and
hurts
like
my
one of the
feelings
plot
now.
lines is somebody has to go investigate Camino because like they cloned somebody or something.
Well, they've
That'd be cool.
cloned others.
Mhm.
But
Well, no, yeah,
this-
that's what they do. That's what their
Yes.
industry is, cloning.
Right.
Yeah.
And what does Dex say? How nice you are and how big your pocketbook is.
Ah.
Because it's just a matter of what they can do. And I think
Yeah.
they picked that guy because they were the most docile. They were the most, obedient and all that, But it would be kind of weird. You know, we're talking about 10 years of them doing these clones. Some of
Yeah.
these dudes have got to be older because
Yeah.
they're growing up pretty fast.
Big time.
Yeah, so
At least in the old universe, there was actually a really cool way to explain Jango Fett, how he became their choice. So there's like a video game where it's just like Count Dooku as Darth Tyrannus, essentially from behind the curtains, sets Jango Fett on like this massive bounty on bounty hunt, which ends in him being like, "Yeah, you win. You're going to be the one that we're going to
almost
clone
like
the army
game
out
to
of."
the death, you know,
Yeah.
kind of thing, you know. And it was, I
that's
think we
up.
talked about it the other day when or last week we talked about movies where kids were killing each other. It was Battle Royale. Like Hunger Games, it's Battle Royale.
I still want to watch that movie.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I've seen it.
I'm not saying I endorse it, but
Well,
No, but
that
I
might
mean,
be
it's-
really hardcore.
Well, in the Hunger Games, they're kids.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too. Yeah,
They're
kids.
kids. So
They're kids.
in Battle Royale, they're kids, but that Battle Royale came out in 2000 or 2001. There's
Okay.
actually 2 movies, but they're really good.
I never got those Hunger Games movies. I watched all of them. I was just like,
Did you?
I like the books.
I was
were
like,
terrific.
you literally outnumber this corrupt government by like 100 to 1. Like, come on.
Because people
You
wanted to
shouldn't
do
be
the
going
right
through all this for so long.
thing.
Yeah.
They wanted to do the right thing,
Yeah.
so don't fault them for that.
I'm not a Hunger Games
I would
guy.
have overthrown that government like instantly.
We wasted no time.
Yes.
And I would have been successful because we outnumbered them. Like, we don't need guns. We have sheer bodies. Like,
Can either one of you do the whistle?
God, no.
No.
I barely
Okay,
know
I
how to
can't
whistle.
either. I
It's
can't
funny.
either.
I'm talented musically,
Kinda
like, blessed. Can't whistle to save my life.
I'm asking Nam to do it once we're done. He's like the craziest whistler I've ever seen.
Really?
That's actually a weird category to even like to put anyone in, but he's like crazy with it. Yeah, he is. I'm asking if he could do it though.
He'll do that too.
Yeah, I'm asking if we could do it when we're done.
We're all gonna go like this. Yes.
I know I am when he does it.
I liked
I
the
know I
books
am.
and the movies.
Yeah,
I didn't read the books, and
The
I
books
actually
were great.
I escaped them
I like
because
it-
like when I went to high school, we read like hardcore literature. Like 2 years after I graduated high school, I was talking to a
Pride
friend that
and
was like
Prejudice.
now a senior, and they were like, "Yeah, we're reading Hunger Games for 12th
And
grade
of-
English," and I was
and of
like,
Green Gables
"What?"
kind of thing.
However, I would have like you should have seen if I can go back in time and I had to read those
Uh-huh.
books in high school. I would have wrote like an essay that would have scared people. So I kind of want to go back because I love writing essays.
Uh-huh.
I kind of want to go back and like relive that and do that.
yeah.
So I could write like the most messed up child killing essay
Oh,
analysis
no,
ever.
man.
No, don't.
Like
This
it'd be
guy's-
really good. Like they'd
How
be
did we
like they
go
have
from
to give it an
food
A.
scenes to killing people.
No, it'd be a good paper. They'd just be like, "Wow, this student's really dark. He went."
Yeah.
But yeah, even the books, you know, when I read them, the very last one, it was almost like it took you down, man. You were sad when you read that. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's
Yeah.
no happy ending
Yeah.
there. This is
Yeah, you
Plus,
want-
Hunger Games is responsible for an uproar in the film industry that I'm not a fan of.
I
A
don't know. I
fan of
think that-
taking like really recently written young adult novels and just like immediately turning them into series.
Mhm.
I don't
Because
know.
what
what's-
there was
I
that
think there's
other
nothing
one where
wrong
they're
with
like
that.
dystopian future based on teen novels or something, and that one was supposed to get like 1 or 2 more movies, and they're like, no, we can't afford it. We're
is
doing
it the Maze Runner?
Yeah, Maze Runner. Like
Oh,
we're
Maze
doing a
Runner,
TV show
yeah.
now because
Oh,
like they
gosh,
can't afford
no.
movies.
I don't think I saw them. I don't think I watched.
But no, yeah. So you see
Maze
what I
Runner
mean? Like
sucks.
Hunger Games is
Like
responsible for
Insurgent,
this.
like Divergent, all
Yeah,
those movies
Divergent,
like that. They
Yeah,
suck.
like
Divergent
no.
was terrible.
They
I fell
suck. All those
asleep
movies like that
watching
are- they're
It
Which
was
sucks
They
because
suck.
boring.
there's this one novel I read that was a teen novel. My stepmom turned me onto it when we were moving from Alaska, Idaho. She was like, "Hey, you want to read this?" I read it in one day. It was so messed up. Like, what was it called? I think it was called Unwind. And the premise of it was like a second civil war had been fought in the U.S. that was for pro-choice about abortions. So like how
Yeah,
they came to peace
We're
was
getting
this.
political here.
Well, no, it's
Yikes.
not. That's the only political part about it. Just 2 people fighting over an
Yeah.
issue. But but how they solved the war and came to peace was from
Like Hunger Games kind of thing.
if like you conceive a child, it has to be born, and then it has to live for so long, and I think after it lives for so long, there's a brief few year period before they're an adult where you can have them unwound, which is essentially they take the human and recycle all its body parts.
Oh wow.
That's like
Like
Soylent
that was
Green.
their solution
Wow,
for
that's-
abortion for both
Yeah.
sides.
Wow, what
man.
the
But
hell?
I would love to see a movie series based on that to tie it
man.
back in.
This guy enjoys The Purge.
Well, no, but since it's like a teen novel, like that movie just go that. that part of Hollywood is going so downhill that I want to see that movie, but I know it would be terrible if it came out.
You know what movie came out a long time ago? We're getting off topic from food.
It's all nerd stuff.
But it was Logan's Run. And the
people, I love Logan's Run.
They only live to be about, 30 years old. And
that's like awesome. There's like, you're going to live, and then one day you're going to go to this great experience thing with the rest of the people from your group.
In the air,
and they just like incinerate you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was Logan's Run.
It's a really awesome movie. You ever see Austin Powers movies?
Yeah, I've seen Austin Powers.
Basil Exposition, the guy who plays his boss, he starred in Logan's Run back in the 70s.
Yeah.
I forget his name.
So you guys suggest I check that out too as well? Okay.
Logan's Run, yeah.
Did
you ever watch Dazed and Confused?
No, I didn't watch Dazed and Confused yet. No, because Roach didn't bring a DVD. He was like in LA for like a few days, so he didn't have a chance to bring.
Now
a DVD.
Tonight I'm going to be watching a movie I just got, which is Fanboys.
Oh, okay.
I love that movie.
Seen that. Have you seen it?
I know what it is. I have not seen it. Though.
I've not seen it. That's
we gotta
terrible.
watch that. We should watch that one day.
Yeah, you mentioned that we should just chill and like probably watch movies here. Yeah, I'm with that though.
I don't know if you can burn it if I bring it.
I don't know, but I could probably burn it at probably like a friend's house or something. I'm pretty sure my friend has like a CD or DVD burner. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, for sure.
It's a great movie.
I just got a Blu-ray player.
It's really stupid though. So
congratulations.
Plug that in.
Be prepared for the movie to be stupid because it is stupid, but it's really funny and it's really good.
She's Out of My League was pretty stupid.
I love She's Out of My League. I love that movie.
That was literally like a movie you watch on TBS on Saturday night.
Yes.
I went and saw that one in the theaters actually. And then I have it on Blu-ray.
Oh, what?
It's really good. I like that too. It was funny. Okay,
oh, dude, I love the Blu-ray bin at Walmart. You get Blu-rays for $5. Oh,
here's a movie. I don't know if you've ever watched a couple of these, but have you ever watched Car Wash?
Yeah.
Oh
with
my
George Carlin and
God,
Richard.
So funny.
The old Car Wash.
Yeah,
movie
with
The
George
Car
Carlin.
Wash.
Yeah.
That movie was hysterical. But also,
but then they do a remake of it.
House Party.
Oh, House Party.
Yes.
They did the wash with like Snoop and Dr. Dre.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Snoop and Dre. Yeah,
because
that's what I was thinking of too.
Yeah, and House Party, of course. Yeah, like for sure.
I have both those movies, by the way.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Oh, those are great movies.
Yeah. House Party's cool.
I like with Richard Pryor. What was it? Hear No Evil, See No Evil, where he's him and Gene Wilder play a blind and deaf man, and then they end up like foiling, like they end up either uncovering or foiling like a murder thing or something. It's really good. But it's from that like Richard Pryor,
that era,
like 70s era.
Yeah.
And it has Gene Wilder in it, so why wouldn't you love it?
I like some of those old. I think the older comedies, they're pretty funny. They don't have a lot of the weird crap in it, a lot of cussing and things, but they had a lot of meat and potatoes type of funny stuff.
Yeah, that's a way of pushing like the
definitely pick any
comedy.
Mel Brooks film, and you're gonna love it for laughs.
Yeah.
Mel Brooks is amazing.
I did like Young Frankenstein. I thought
Young Frankenstein's amazing. High Anxiety's amazing.
I saw Young Frankenstein.
Spaceballs, of course.
I remember watching that with my brother Jordan.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. You know, Frau Brooker.
Yeah, Young Frankenstein's pretty cool.
There's one he did. He didn't direct it, but he starred in it. And it's part of his collection. To Be or Not to Be, and basically it's him living as a Polish Jew right when the Nazis invade Poland, but it's like a comedy, and he owns like a picture house where they throw on plays and stuff.
Oh wow!
Excellent Mel Brooks film. His wife, what's her name? She acted alongside him as his wife in the film.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember her name, but no, it's really good.
Some pretty smart.
There's even a Hitler musical number in it.
Oh my gosh!
That's not cool.
No.
Well,
okay.
actually,
let's get back to the food and drink scenes.
Mel Brooks had a really good concept as a Jew, as a living Jew, who also fought in World War II. That to like basically turn over everything Hitler did was just make fun of the guy. That's what he did in all his films. So he just made fun of Hitler.
No, not a big fan. I'm not
Mel
a big
Brooks
fan
is
of all
awesome.
that. Mel Brooks was funny, but I'm not a big fan of all that. I did like Blazing Saddles, by the way.
Blazing Saddles is great.
That was pretty funny.
I'm sorry, guys.
He's checking his messages.
Oh no! I was like,
all the ladies.
No,
that were
not
checking.
even.
Since we
not
talked
even.
about that.
No, me and
last
him
week.
are talking behind your back through text. Just kidding.
Why is it because I wanted to do food and drink scenes today?
No, that was actually a good topic for the drink scenes. It was actually a good topic.
I liked it because I was able to extrapolate from
it's
things
actually
inspired by Star
hungry.
Wars.
A lot of things. There's a lot of things inspired by Star Wars. Cartoons.
Oh, yeah.
Different any movie, there's different movies or different TV shows. They always talk about, especially in like Big Bang, How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
I would say Star Wars is easily the most referenced IP in the world.
Oh yeah,
I think everyone just knows. You know what I mean? I think,
Everybody knows
feel like
Star
everyone's
Wars.
really
Even if they haven't
familiar.
seen it, everybody knows
Yeah,
Star
everybody's
Wars.
really familiar with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's,
it is.
there's something or something else, or someone's wearing something, and you automatically associate. You automatically know this is Star Wars. This is because there's just so many facets of it. Even
it's
like
deep.
the book that I brought you, with all the different characters.
Yeah.
There's so many facets of it. I mean, especially, now that you had people do like the Clone Wars cartoons, the Rebels cartoons. I don't know. Do they do any eating in the Rebels one?
Yeah.
Sadly, I've not watched that.
Watch it. Rebels is way better than Clone Wars, in my opinion. It's
know.
way more like it has just like Clone Wars. It has its episodes for kids.
Yeah.
But outside of that, the storylines that they do are really
They're
dark and
speaking
really
to the
adult.
adults.
Yeah.
Because we're all kids inside, so that's what it is.
It's kind of like how Clone Wars became like the second half of it. How Dave Filoni realized that not only adults were watching this, but all the kids who started watching it are now teenagers and adults because they've grown up, and that show kind of flipped and became really dark and really adult too.
And I just thought of something. How does Darth Vader? Well, Darth Vader can take off his helmet, but what does he eat? What do you think he eats?
And I know in old canon, I know
And don't
exactly
say
what he ate.
souls.
No,
He eats
in
lava
I'm
pie.
assuming it's still the same thing because it's justifiable. But in
Pears?
old canon, it was
Pears.
those. He had those things, not the microphones, but like all that stuff inside his helmet. Like he had just like a food straw that he could just feed it on a paste.
Really?
Yeah, was it like that blue
Like
gooey stuff from the stormtroopers?
His suit was essentially fully sustainable. Like he
Urinated shit in
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Excuse my language.
He did not need to do anything. But the irony is, he did end up, now that they're writing more into his history in that time period, he did end up spending a lot of time outside of his suit because Palpatine made it literally so as mostly uncomfortable as possible.
Well, we do know that when he was on Mustafar,
he's in the bacta
Rogue
tank.
One, he's in the Bantha tank, but he's trying to heal himself.
Yeah,
in
and
that
they're
one, he's
kinda-
trying to heal himself.
In a way, they're kind of rewriting it because they had Darth Vader out of his suit in the old canon, like in books and stuff. But they always maintained, like, he couldn't do it at will because it was, like, an extremely risky process. And, like, each time he did it, there was, like, a legit chance he would die.
Mm-hmm.
But now that they're doing, like, the Rogue One stuff and a lot of things, they're, like, I think they're humanizing him more. Like, yeah, he can spend time out of this suit. He doesn't want to be in this suit. So I think that's good for, like, a really strong story.
Well, there's a
first
scene
perspective
when
for Star Wars.
when one of the officers comes up and wants to talk to him.
And he has the helmet off.
And he has the helmet off, and he's sitting in like that. It's almost like a back the tank, kind of a healing.
Oh yeah, it's his meditation chamber.
Yes, and so he's got the helmet off, but the clothes are still on him.
Yeah.
Because if he takes his pants off and stuff, he still has the fake legs. So I mean, Is it hooked to the suit? You think?
No, he has like they have like base attachments on the
Okay.
limbs that you could remove and add the limbs as you need to.
Yeah.
It's like hot swap limbs essentially.
Like Lego pieces, Just
But no,
kind
I
of-
love how they're
Just like
starting
that.
to humanize Darth Vader more because I always thought it was like that's stupid. He can't be out of his suit without a massive risk of dying. Like if it's in a proper environment, like a bacta tank or in a meditation chamber that's sealed off,
Well, it's
it
obvious
should be
he
cool.
is.
So now they're actually doing that instead of just being like, no. I
Do
love
you think that guard, the guy that's when he's in the tank and it starts to drain, right in Rogue One, who helps dress him?
I think he lays down on that table.
I would
And
say
just
robots.
assembles.
I would say he has like
think robots?
like
Yeah.
kind of like
Tony
Iron
Stark,
Man,
yeah,
but
exactly.
with robots.
Just like that. That's how I see it. That's how I envision
See,
it.
I'm the pots and pans kind of person. I want to know, how does he brush his teeth kind of thing?
No, I'm the same way.
Robots. Robots.
Yeah, they all help him get dressed. He just stands there and everything.
Yeah, everything
the
just falls into
robots-
place.
the
Yeah,
robots put him
I'm
together.
pretty sure that's how Darth
It
Vader
all
gets
click.
dressed.
They're like, this is just like one of those things like some sort of dolls that click together.
Yeah.
The legs click on and,
Yeah.
and the arms
Yeah.
click on.
That's actually the most reason I'm excited for all these Star Wars live action TV shows getting ready to drop because I want that universe. I want the sit downs, the quiet paced conversations in environments and about topics that have never been discussed in Star Wars before, but that we've been waiting for. Like, I want to see Star Wars fleshed out and more humanized. Like, it's a world you can live in because there's so many things.
So now that you say that, I'm thinking about the Mos Eisley Cantina. When Luke wants to get something to drink, is he drinking alcohol? because he's only 17.
Well, we don't know. Well, we don't know what their age is. That's Tatooine. For all we know, there is no alcohol age limit. Like, if there is a planet, it's like that in Nar Shaddaa and Nal Hutta. Like, there's no age restrictions.
I
On
guess
those
there's
planets.
there's a lot of shenanigans going on, so I guess you can drink at any age.
Yeah,
kind of
probably.
thing,
You're probably just golden, like no matter what age you are.
Yeah, I just.
Especially if you're a Jedi.
Plus,
maybe.
there's so many different species that live in that universe. Like, how would you, as a bartender or a bouncer to a bar or a club, have the ability to reference like thousands of species, their age, what we consider them to be matured as adults?
They get their ID
biologically.
and they put it in the computer.
Yeah.
No, that's just,
They said you're.
I'm just gonna go with.
The HUD is only
I'm just gonna
17,
go if
he
they
can't
have alcohol
drink.
figured out in the future of Star Wars and it's all good, because there's no way that they're regulating like age limits for Star Wars.
Well,
Yeah.
in the beginning of the movie, he's only drinking milk. He's drinking blue milk. So.
Well, yeah.
And after his aunt and uncle get
Honestly,
burned,
when I
he's
was a
drinking
kid,
the
I was
bar.
just assuming.
Yeah, he is.
When I was a kid, I just assumed he was drinking root beer in the Mos Eisley
Oh my!
cantina.
That's
I don't
some
know
young
what.
milk.
Yeah, because he was drinking milk when he was with his aunt and uncle. But once they get burned and killed, once they're killed, all bets are off, man. He's drinking at
Yeah.
the bar. He can have whatever
me
he
to the
wants.
bar.
Yeah,
I
take
like
me to the
that
bar.
fan
Stats.
theory that. I love the fan theory that propagates that Boba Fett's the one who disintegrated
Yeah.
their family, his uncle and aunt and uncle, because if you go into Empire Strikes Back when he's hiring all the bounty hunters and he looks specifically at Boba Fett and goes, no disintegrations, and then to further add to it, we're like, well, but how do we know Boba Fett was even there at the time?
I think the
And
troopers did. I think the clone troopers did.
Boba
had
Fett's
an
on
idea.
Tatooine at the same time. Remember, he's in the spaceport with Jabba the Hutt. So there's a legit chance that Vader could have been like, I need somebody to deal with this because my stormtroopers are kind of getting it done, but not at my pace. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, Fett's on Tatooine. I can dig it. Hey, can you do something
But
for
the
me real quick?
Jawas are killed by stormtroopers because there's
Yeah,
blasters and all that.
But that was
so-
at a different location. So,
right,
like,
but they went to
the
look for the droids.
stormtroopers
So
could have
they
been like
headed-
looking for the droids, and Boba Fett, just because he's Boba Fett, would have been like, yeah, you guys go do that. I already know where they're at, and he could have go hit them up. Two different, like, just because one thing happened doesn't mean both can't. Like, I think it's awesome though. I like to imagine that because of the circumstances that
He
could
went there
prove it.
first, and he went
Yeah.
there first and took him out.
Yeah.
But he
But
didn't
at
get
the same time, too, that scene can be explained because these blast points, too accurate for Sand people, only Imperial stormtroopers are so precise, and they're literally not. So Boba Fett could have gone there, too. He is precise, and he could have been the one that killed them while the stormtroopers were trying to kill the Jawas.
Well, because they were on what was the
And then he goes to the thing and kills the parents. I mean, the aunt and uncle.
That's possible because they were riding on
They
those.
found him.
They were riding on the
Dewbacks and
the
stuff.
dewbacks.
But
They were
Boba Fett has a
going pretty
jetpack
slow.
and his own ship, so...
Yeah, there's a possibility. So
And I guarantee you that if they were to write that storyline and film it for whatever,
Yeah.
he would have a speeder too that was on his ship that allowed him to get around Tatooine.
well, Darth Maul did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
True.
he had something that looked like some sort
That'd
of
be cool, like-
Harley apparatus
Yeah.
kind of thing.
If they wanted to do because I know they were planning on it, but if they wanted to legit do a Boba Fett like spinoff film, that'd be like a good plot line. Him killing Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
Yeah,
That'd be like a really good
possibility.
plot line.
That is actually pretty dope.
Yeah. We
I
went
wanna
from
write that movie,
food to
too.
somewhere else.
It was all nerd.
I
And it
don't
was
know
all
how
about
it-
Star Wars.
I
It
don't
was
know how it
great.
happened.
Well, no, we were talking about Harry Potter too. So somehow. or
I mean,
another
no,
they-
yeah, it wasn't all Star Wars, but
we
it was
got
all
off-
nerd.
They call it the beaten path.
That's what we do. We talk about Star Wars, and
Yeah,
then
we walked on it for sure.
Yeah, we walked on the
do
beaten
other
path.
things
But
a
I
little
did
bit.
like. I will say kudos to you, Aaron, on the soul consumption.
Yes.
I never even thought of that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Kelpie's pretty evil,
He's
so
just
I'm
eating
sure.
salads and stuff, and we know it.
Yeah, so salad.
I-
That's what it
yes.
says.
Whole salad. Once
Jedi
just James
salads.
Brown
Oh.
selling salads to me now.
Yeah, that sounds.
He may not even eat.
He might not.
I can't remember if the book,
He might eat a skin like Goldmember.
if Plagueis, if
Gold.
he ate.
Just skin chips.
Oh,
Yeah, it's-
yeah, that's
No,
like
you're
Silence
crazy.
of the
Tangy.
Lambs
It's
right
really
there.
tangy.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Zesty.
Not for me. No.
And David,
Real zesty.
I know all my stuff was great. I was good.
I liked it. I liked it. But I say number one with the soul eating. I think that was the best.
Oh, I didn't show Aaron either.
Oh, show me.
What? Oh,
Wait, I don't think I did.
we'll do that
This
after.
is what I'm painting.
Oh,
Don't say
As
what it
our-
is, but
as our
that's what I'm going to
trophy.
paint as the trophy.
okay.
Because it looks like a little trophy.
It does.
Yeah. But
This is
next,
awesome.
so next week we're gonna do a show called "What's in a Name." So you pick something from Star Wars. It has to be
Anything.
Yeah, it could be anything. You can talk about a bantha. You can talk about a planet. You can talk about Palpatine. Whatever. But just do research of everything about that. How maybe Lucas discovered how to came up with the idea for it.
Yeah.
Whatever. So next week will be What's in a Name.
Homework.
Yeah, so that's your homework. So I
Homework,
want to thank
homework.
everybody for joining us today on Radio Geonosis. David,
Oh, yeah. Check us out on Facebook, too. www.facebook.com/radio.
yes, and check us out
Oh,
on
yeah, like and subscribe on YouTube.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm getting used to it.
like and subscribe on YouTube, Radio Geonosis. We really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time.
See you later.
Bye.